Chief Market Strategist at B. Riley Wealth Management. He joins me now. Great to have you on. The Magnificent Seven seem to be driving a lot of the optimism that we're seeing. And here we see a bull market continuing as we see a hawkish Fed. Take me through how this is possible. The market is clearly looking at something positive in the future.
Yeah, I can certainly tell you this. We are clearly well within the end of this rate hiking cycle that's been going on for 15 months, and 10 consecutive rate hikes in a row just ended at this last meeting. So that really appears to be good news. The other piece of the puzzle is, while we may be surprised that the Fed penciled in 2 more rate increases for this year, using the dot plot that they've put out over the course of the last couple of years as a blueprint has been a big mistake. I think it's just the 18 members of the FOMC putting down their best guesses about an uncertain future. And I think the market's looking at this and saying, at the very most, we may get 1 more rate hike, and that's probably in July. But if we don't, we've probably seen the last of the rate hikes. So what happens after that is all of our lens through which we look at economic data turns to good news can be good news. And this week was really a reflection of that.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, what the market could be showing us as well is that we could be looking at a soft landing, right? I think many people are worried about what happens to the economy, what happens to consumer spending, how this impacts overall, right? Because the Fed seems to still think we need more evidence. We're worried about core inflation. The market is giving us a totally different signal here.
Yeah, I think what the market is saying is it seems virtually impossible, but that the Fed has been able to raise by 500 basis points over the course of the last 15 months, and yet the unemployment rate's below 4%. Consumers remain confident and spending. We saw the retail sales that came out this week for last month were terrific. We saw the Michigan confidence numbers, absolutely fantastic. And connected to that was the fact that inflation expectations have come down precipitously. So I think that the consensus is that this is an economy that refuses to go gentle into the good night, and the Fed has likely done enough to restrict inflation such that by the end of the year, we'll likely see the core CPI and the core PCE with a 2 handle, call it 2.5 to 2 3/4. And I think that's why the market's celebrating now.
Yeah. So look, the Magnificent Seven, looking at AI stocks, the excitement around that, but also the major fears, right, that this could be the end of humanity or the world as we know it. If we strip out how those stocks have been impacting the markets, where are we really headed?
So that's a great question. And the narrative for most of this quarter has been all of the performances coming from the Magnificent Seven, the AI hypercharged mega cap technology companies. But if you look at the S&P 500 index right now, which is up some 25% off of its October lows, we currently have 190 components or 190 S&P 500 companies that are outperforming the index itself. And the advanced decline lines, meaning how many companies are advancing versus declining, just set a new high this morning. So it's easy to fall back on the fact that, yes, they get all of the attention, but we've got an industrial sector that's 1% off an all-time high. We've got the regional banks that have bounced significantly off of their lows. We've got 10 of the 11 S&P 500 sectors this week alone have advanced. So this market's starting to broaden out. Another way to look at that is the Russell 2000 small caps are outperforming the S&P 500 for the month of June. So while the S&P certainly was the leadership and those Magnificent Seven companies were the leadership on the way to where we got here, I think the month of June has been one that is seeing a lot of breath coming into this market, where participation really is a catch-up to those sectors that haven't actually performed well thus far this year.
Art Hogan, thanks so much. Have a fantastic weekend. Well, in Egypt, the government is pushing to grow